Well, it's the 7th year that we've been doing this, and as you guys know, the 6 previous years, first rankings, there's always that curveball. There's always a team that's up there that maybe you didn't expect, or a team that we thought would be up high that's lower. The only team I can think of is maybe a Northwestern, kind of a forgotten team going into last weekend. They beat Wisconsin. Maybe they jump up. Something's going to happen. As you always say, we don't know the rankings until they unfold when everybody else gets to see them. So
16 in their game this weekend, I believe, just got postponed as well. Okay, so let's look at 15 through 11, and there are the Ducks of Oregon that Joey referenced, and there is a bit of a surprise at BYU, and I referenced earlier, their schedule certainly doesn't measure up. We've talked about them a lot. The Cougars with the eye test, they more than measure up. They only have one more game left on the schedule against San Diego State. There is a possibility of adding another one along the line, but BYU much lower than expected, and Iowa State there at 6-2 at number 13, Oklahoma and Indiana up at 11.
I'm still blown away. We got BYU down at 14 and Indiana at 12. BYU AD may want to get on that hotline to Seattle as quick as possible and try. He wanted to see where the rankings are. Well, now you know where you are. You better find any game you can find to climb the ladder. But Georgia, I wonder if the committee is simply looking at the analytics and the efficiency numbers, or if they watched BYU play. Because if you're looking at pieces of paper and you're looking at schedules and looking at analytics, well, most of their analytics will be off the charts because of how dominant they've been, but they're clearly just looking at who they have played. That's the biggest mystery that I have.
Because I do think in the end, I want them to pick who they think the best team are, not who has a 0 in the column. But my gosh, BYU 14, watching them throughout this season, like, that was absolutely nuts to me, just watching how potent they've been, how fun they've been, how dominant they are, by the way, not just analytically, but physically when you turn on the tape. But
I think they got to worry about what could happen potentially behind them and not just in front of them. The biggest shock to me, beyond BYU being all the way down at 14, which I just don't understand, is Northwestern being all the way up.
So when you say embrace the chaos, and earlier you and I talked before this, if you watched a lot of video, the thing that has stuck out to the five of us is where BYU is. BYU ranked number 14. Why are the Cougars so low in your rankings?
Well, the committee is very impressed with BYU. Zach Wilson is definitely a Heisman candidate, playing at a high level. They've beaten 3 or 4 teams above 500. But as you look at their schedule, and that's certainly where the committee went and looked at their best win is against Boise State. Boise was shorthanded in that game. So the committee is very impressed with BYU, but certainly schedule compared to the teams around them came into play.
And also this year, the chair of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. There is Kalani Sitake, head coach at BYU. We're a little bit surprised by BYU's ranking at number 14. Kalani's going to join us in just a minute and talk about what BYU might be able to do next. I guarantee you they didn't come to the conclusion that Kalani Sitake thought they should have. His team, nor the one that we thought they should have about his team. Kalani will join us when you come back. We just unveiled the rankings. BYU was ranked 14th in the initial rankings from the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. Surprised we thought they'd be higher. Cougars off to a 9-0 start for the first time since 2001. They've been dominating people, outscoring them by 34 points per game. That's best in the FBS. Scholarship, the schedule was certainly not what they expected. Zach Wilson has been terrific. Top 10 in the FBS and QBR, yards per attempt, completion percentage. He has been phenomenal now that his shoulder is completely healthy. And the schedule, they only have the San Diego State game remaining, and the pandemic just wreaked havoc on what was the most aggressive schedule in BYU history. They had 6 Power 5 teams on the initial schedule, and obviously unable to play any of those up to this point. As we're joined by Kalani Sitake, the head coach at BYU. Kalani, what's your reaction to the initial rankings that has your team at number 14?
Hey, great motivation for our guys. Love our team, love our players. I think we play a great brand of football with excitement and passion. And, we have a lot of work to do and a lot to prove, obviously. and a short amount of time, and hopefully we can get that done.
Gary Barta mentioned that they had been impressed with the way your team had played, but not necessarily the schedule. So you say you have a lot to prove. At the moment, you only have one game on the schedule with which to do it. What's the status with BYU trying to get another game, maybe against a Pac-12 team or potentially against Cincinnati?
Yeah, we had an opportunity, this week. We have a lot of respect for Washington and a lot of respect for the Pac-12. And, we practiced yesterday. We had a great practice in hopes of playing Washington. We game planned and did all our meetings last night in hopes of playing Washington. Our players lost money, and our coaches lost money in changing their schedules with the Thanksgiving coming up in the hopes of playing Washington. And so it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But there's this narrative out that we were hiding or ducking or waiting, and that's just not true. It's a false narrative. I want to make sure everybody understands we're not afraid of anybody. We will respect everyone that we play, but there's no fear in this. But it's not anything unique to us. That's what makes college football great. Nobody's afraid of anybody. We're not afraid of Washington. They're not afraid of us. That's why we dedicate our lives to this game, and hopefully we can do it a lot. And to be honest with you, we have 2 weeks left that are open, December 5th and December 19th, that we're willing to play football. And, if there's anybody that are actually having availability to play those games, we would love to do it.
Okay, I want to touch on something you said. Why didn't the Washington game work out from your perspective?
Well, it wasn't because we were scared, that's for sure. It was because things didn't work out. We practiced yesterday. We were ready for this game. Nobody was more frustrated and disappointed than our players and our coaches. And so we were looking forward to this game. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. I don't want to get into the specifics of it, but I respect Washington. I respect the Pac-12 conference. They have to make decisions that's best for them. We have to make decisions that are best for us. We've been committed to playing football from the very beginning. We've asked, our original schedule, we were excited to play football with the depth and the type of team that we have, and it got disrupted, and I'm thankful that we were able to get 9 games in.
Kalani, you know the reality of the situation. I mean, people talk about the committee and the Power Five. You're not a group of 5. You are an independent school. It still feels like you're on the outside looking in before the season even starts. You played the game. You know how BYU or Utah, before they joined the Pac-12, and Boise State and UCF, how they're viewed. How good is this football team with a quarterback that you have, the physicality at the line of scrimmage on both sides, the experience? How good? You know football really well. How good is this team?
I think we're a really good team. I understand the position that the committee is in. It's a difficult year. It's hard to determine a team that's played 9 games to a team that's played 3. And I don't envy their position. I'm going to fight for our boys. I believe in our team. I believe in our depth. From the very beginning going into this season, we were really excited about the depth on this team. We've been stricken with COVID as well. We don't talk about it. You don't see that we've had to deal with depth in a lot of different position groups, and we just play football without missing a beat. And we play great complementary football, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams. Do a great job. And then I understand there's a lot of great teams out there, but man, I think we're an exciting bunch to watch.
Highest ranked group of 5 champion gets a spot in the New Year's Six Bowl. You are not in that mix, but you are certainly eligible to be an at-large team in a New Year's Six Bowl. What would a New Year's Six game that brought the BYU Cougars in be getting against, say, a Power 5 opponent, for instance?
We're just so thankful to play football. And in a time where, with the pandemic, we're thankful to be in this position and appreciate everything that we have. If there are games that come available, we played 9 already, and I'm thankful for conferences like the Sun Belt Conference, Conference USA, the American Conference, and the Mountain West for accommodating us and allowing us to play them. So we feel fortunate to play those games. We still want to play a lot of football. We have open dates. We were looking to fill them, and we want to see our guys get out there and play it. We enjoy the game. I'm not really focused on where we end up in the bowl games and things like that. We're just trying to focus on trying to get the next game. Right now it's San Diego State, and hopefully we can get something else.
Kalani, we really appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for being so candid with us, and we wish you luck in trying to schedule games in and playing them the rest of the season.
Guys, everyone, happy Thanksgiving. Give thanks.
Amen to that. Kalani Sitake, head coach at BYU.